is Matt with TeamGoodGuyz Airsoft, and today I'm going to actually tell you what you need for your first Airsoft skirmish. Now I'm going to hit a 3-in-1 right here. Now, just FYI, this is not a backyard event. This would be your first game actually going to like a registered Airsoft place. So I'm just going to do some of the stuff that you need to just get your first thing. Some stuff are optional, and I'll tell you. Alright, first thing, you're going to want a gun bag. Now, this is to actually store your gun in. If you don't have a professional gun bag, you can get these probably up for $20 off of e-bike. If you don't have that, I've seen people put it in guitar cases, the original gun box, or I've even seen somebody put it in a camping chair bag. One of those foldable camping chair bags. Yeah, no, that's Jerry. Alright, inside there, I'm going to have my primary weapon. Right here, you can see a makeshift barrel condom, whatever you want to call it. I know that's funny. So you were going to have to have this barrel condom because if this gun accidentally fires while it's loaded, you don't want it hitting somebody in the eye and everybody has their goggles off. So this is a necessity for most fields that I've been to. You're going to want to keep your mag out of the gun unloaded until you actually get to the field. Even then, you're going to have your mag out of your gun. Then once you're on the actual field, inside the safe to play area, then you put in your loaded mag. Never before that. Now I always like to keep a second gun just in case my first primary weapon goes down. Something in the gearbox, like the gear strip or something like that. So I always keep a secondary gun on me. Alright, so now as you can see I actually have my vest here. This is a Black Hawk vest. It's actually quite expensive. You don't need anything this expensive. And as you can see in my array of mags, basically you just want something where you're going to have the ability to hold mags. You don't want to be running around with mags in your pocket. You could get a vest for probably, I want to say $40, so it's not that expensive. As you can see, I'm running probably a 10 mag setup, then an extra pouch on the side. These are just dual stacked mags. So because I'm running mid caps, I've only got probably 80 to 100 rounds in some of these mags. So I need to bring a lot of them. You'd be really surprised how often you go for ammo on the field, especially if you're a full auto player. It varies with some players. I've seen somebody who could just run on one high cap completely the whole entire game and be fine. But people like me who like to go full auto, I need more mags than a standard player. And I don't like high cap mags. They rattle, and for me they just ruin the game. And I like the ability to reload. It adds realism and it's a lot of fun. Alright, next I have my secondary weapon. This is a Tokyo Mari 1911. It's a great gun. Basically this is a gas blowback pistol. This is in case my primary goes down in the field, I run out of ammo, I could just pull this out. Or if I'm in CQB, I can go around corners really easy with this thing. Next I have my circle holster. You could just basically get a soft shell holster off e-bike for probably around $20 or so. Probably less than that. But this is basically so you don't have to shove it in the mag pouch. If you need to, you don't have a holster, you're going the next day. You can put it in a mag pouch if your mag pouches are supposed to be double stacked or whatever. Like my mag pouches, you couldn't do that. Worst case scenario, you could try doing it in a pocket, but you're risking losing a $100 pistol or whatever. It's kind of not the best idea. So plan ahead and try and get a holster. Now, to hold this holster, I actually have something called a rigger's belt. It's just this belt. You could use a snap-on belt, but basically this is just really good. It holds it in. I have 2 spare mags here. And I also keep my dump pouch on there. So that's just for when I dump a magazine, I don't drop it on the ground or something, I just throw it in my dump pouch. Alright, now this is optional. I don't know if you can see that. But this is completely and 100% optional. Basically, this is my toolbox. Now, this is if something goes down with my team gun or my gun or something, I have the ability to fix it. Now, I keep a lot of stuff in here, so I'll just go through everything. Just basic maintenance that you could do on the field if something happens. Alright, the first thing I have is silicone in case a gas gun locks up. I always keep multi-tool or a knife in there. Electrical tape is a must. Heat shrink wrap. For some reason, if I'm messing around with wires, I need to have that. I keep a flashlight in case you need to see something inside the gun. Anti-fog spray in case your gun is messing up. A better knife. I have some Torx and hex screws right here because a lot of guns like gas mags, in case you need to repair those, they use those. I have my speed loader actually in here. This is a must. When you're loading mid caps, this just goes right in the nozzle. You fill it up and you do it. These cost probably about $1, $2 on e-bike. It's a must to have. Unless you're using strictly only high caps. High caps you don't need a speed loader, but it's always good to have in case somebody lends you a mid cap or something. I always keep a lock in here because this is a lockable toolbox. So if somebody has cell phones or whatever and they need to lock it up, I just do that. Alright, and then bottom here I have my store of batteries. Right here I have my 2 LiPo batteries for my M4. This is my secondary gun, and I have a battery inside the thing. So that's 3 batteries for my gun. Then my P90, it's a very high milliamp, I think 5,000 milliamps. So that's more than all of these 3 batteries put together, so I'm not going to need a second battery for that, and it's a large type. And then this battery is just basically I can lend one to my teammates, because some choose not to have multiple batteries sometimes if they're new to the game. Alright, then I've just got some duct tape, a bunch of basic screws here, it's like a multi-screw thing, and some hand warmers in case you're going into a cold game. You never know. I'm going to a game which is expected to be 85 degrees tonight. I just keep my hand warmers in there just in case. Alright, now if you're a mid-cap player, this is going to be kind of good to have, just in case. It depends if you're going into a more milsim-ish game. I'm not going to say milsim. More milsim-ish game where you're only allowed 1 high cap. This isn't going to help, but I'm just going to an open play. Any amount of high caps are allowed. So right here I just got 2 extra high caps just in case if shit hits the fan, I could just dump them in my pouch or whatever. I can also keep them in that large pouch just in case I feel like I need to spray or it's going into like a half an hour long game. Then just an extra mid cap in case I lose one or something like that. Alright, then I've got an extra hat, like say, you're always going to want to have a hat pretty much, even in a winter game when there's no sun out. Basically you can just flip it around and then it keeps the mask straps, this back thing, it keeps it up so it doesn't slide down your face or whatever. Then you're going to obviously want a canteen to hold a lot of water. You're not going to need a canteen, you could just probably bring 3 or 4 bottles of water and you're good. Alright, next you're going to actually have your mask. This is my safe face. It's got to be ANSI rated or you can have goggles depending on the field. In my field you're not allowed to have just goggles unless you're above 18. As I said, I have my anti-fog spray. I have a fan hooked up to this, a micro fan that I bought off the website, so I'm not going to be fogging up. And next, for your gas blowback pistol, you're going to have some propane or a green gas. And my propane adapter is actually inside the bin. I'm not going to show you it, but it's just a screw on and then load up your mags with that. Alright, the next thing you're going to want are dead rags. Now, I personally keep like 3 or 4 of these just in case a teammate forgets one. And what you do basically when you get hit in a game like this, you just put this on your head and then you walk out. That way you won't get shot on accident if somebody thinks you're still alive. Next, I'm using gloves. These are hard knuckles gloves. And they also, I don't know if you can see that, they have little things on the knuckles for the inside of your finger. And I can tell you these things are great. They're not the highest quality gloves if you're looking to get this exact pair. The leather's worn out and stuff, but hard knuckle gloves in general. I used to hate getting my hand shot, and I would always have like a bump on my hand wherever I got shot. And that's pretty much where it hurts most besides getting shot in the face or the neck or something. So this basically prevents all of those painful shots with all of these coverage spots. And it's just great to have. Alright, next I actually have this drop leg molly space. And basically during the end of the day, if I'm hot and you know, I'm not going to lug around a 20-pound vest with a hydration pouch. Basically this hooked up to my rigger's belt, it goes on my leg, and I can put in my molly things for my vest and have all of my mags right there on my leg. And it's just a way to dump the vest if you want to use less mags, you're tired, and it relieves a lot of weight and it's so much more fun to play if you're going in a hot day, you don't feel like lugging around a vest during the last game. And it's just a way to lighten up. Again, it's not a necessity or anything, it's just something really nice to have. And then finally, of course, you're going to want BBs. I personally carry around 7,000 BBs right here, and you would not believe how much you go through. So just in case, you're always going to want to have a larger number amount, because it's going to suck to run out and have to ask somebody to borrow some. Maybe they won't even let you borrow some, you never know. So I always just keep it 5,000 .25 BBs, because .25 are better than .2 in case you don't know. And yeah, that's about all I bring to an Airsoft event. Remember to bring stuff like that I didn't mention, like snacks, money to get into the event, money to buy food, or your personal lunch. And that's all I pretty much bring to an Airsoft event. Remember, safety is #1 for an Airsoft event, so you're always going to want to have the cases and all the barrel covers and stuff like that. And make sure you're always wearing proper eye protection when playing, even in a backyard game. Safety goggles just don't cut it. Try and wear full shield ANSI rated goggles. And that's about all I have to say. Remember to stay sexy, and I will see you guys later.